Today, I'm going to tell you my top 3 incense fragrances. One of my absolute favorite fragrance notes. I love incense. It really goes back. It's one of the most historical. It goes back to biblical times. As far as religious ceremonies, it's always been very important. And it's just timeless. So coming up next, find out what my 3 favorite incense fragrances are. Welcome back, everybody, to JoelTheNose. And today, as I said, I'm going to be doing a video on my 3 favorite incense fragrances. And I'm actually going to give you an honorable mention 4th fragrance. And the reason why it's honorable mention, and it may be going further up the list very soon, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to pull up in here in a second. Okay, I'm going to pull it up on my phone because I actually just ordered it, so I don't have it yet. I've smelled it probably 3 or 4 times now, and it was recommended to me by my friend Diego, who brought it to Osme one day, and I absolutely fell in love with it, and then basically ordered it right away. So let's get right into that. So my number, I guess, honorable mention, just outside of that would be, this is Casbah. Casbah, for those of you who haven't seen it, is by Robert Piguet. Piguet. This is really one of Robert Piguet. Robert Piguet is one of the classic French perfume houses. It goes back, I mean, he has some of the most classic perfumes of all time. So this is a legendary house. Casbah is, when it comes to incense, it just blew me away. Almost a blind buy. Not blind buy because I smelled it, but it was that good on my skin. It's just that incense really mixes so well with the kind of like sweetness like of the skin, and just beautiful. I can't wait. I'll talk about it more when I actually get the full bottle, which will probably be in a week or so. I'll talk more about it that time. So let me get into, that's again honorable mention number 4. Let's get in then now to right into my top 3 fragrances, and this is going to be an interesting battle. Coming in at number 3, and this is Mon Nom est Rouge. Mon Nom est Rouge from Majda Bekkali. Of course, they're excellent, excellent bottles that she has. And this is a fragrance that, oh boy, I wore it the other day, like 2 days ago, and I forgot how tenacious this fragrance is. It is lasted all day. In fact, I'd put it on very early in the morning, like you usually do, like around 8:30, 9 o'clock, and 10 o'clock that night, it was still kicking, and I had put some other fragrances on my skin during the day, as I often do, as I'm trying different things out. And this was still overpowering ones that I had put on many hours after I had put on this one. So this is a really good, again, tenacious. Look at that bottle. I really love it. But this is what I like about this as an incense fragrance. It also at the top has this really nice kind of pink pepper, spicy, cumin accord going on. It's also got some geranium in there, but this is a very dry, what I like it, this is a very dry fragrance. You know, I would say aromatic, but sometimes we use words I don't think people necessarily, they're just overused. So I'm trying to use specific words for you guys. It smells dry. You know, some fragrances smell wet or cold, or this is almost like a cool, dry, spicy incense fragrance. But it's also got a beautiful note of Turkish rose and ginger and cedar. So I love ginger and cedar. You'll notice one of the other fragrances I picked today also has that incense kind of ginger, cedar, or, you know, these are kind of common notes that I think go very well with incense. But this is also very complicated, typical French fragrance, because in the base note it dries down to an amber, tonka bean, vanilla, like a labdamen, leathery labdamen, patchouli, sandalwood, white tobacco. There's so much going on here. It's very complicated, but it doesn't smell complicated. It just smells delicious. It smells, again, like a beautiful, timeless incense fragrance, and that's my number 3 choice. All right, now I'm gonna go to my top two, and this is a tough one, but it's kind of a battle among two fragrances from the same house. Number two, I'm going to go with Luci Ed Ombre from, of course, Masque Mandala. This is a fragrance that is 100%, I think, under the radar. Most people don't know about it. It's actually one of the cheaper ones from the house. For a 30 ml, I don't know, it's like around $130. So well worth the price, such a banger. This is a fragrance I put on often at the end of the day when I just want to kind of like go to sleep. This is one that it just soothes me to sleep. It's so good on the skin. This is, the top note is just pure incense. This is a incense lover's dream. If you really like it, look at the color of the fragrance. It's really beautiful. But it also has ginger, kind of like Mon Nomes Rouge, and it also has cedar. So there's some similar elements as Mon Nomes Rouge. I guess clearly why I like these, why, again, I'm gravitating towards this incense type fragrance. It has that cedar, it has that ginger. It's also got jasmine. It's got oak moss. Take a look at that bottle. It's really nice. It's got olibanum. It's got patchouli. So a lot of the similar kind of elements. And I think obviously now that I'm toying around, I'm actually kind of making some fragrances, as you guys know, of my own. And well, I've got just tons of essential oils and fragrance oils here. And I've seen that that kind of combination with olibanum and leather and patchouli and cedar and ginger and incense, great combinations when you try them on the skin. So this again, it's under the radar. It's one I think that you gotta try because a lot of people don't know about it. I kind of stumbled upon it at Osme Perfumery here in Miami because I really love this house, Masque Milano. And Luci Ed Ombre has become one of my all-time favorites. That ginger, right off the bat, you get that, it's like a punch. It's like a spicy incense ginger punch. And really like it. So that leaves me with my number one favorite incense fragrance. For those of you who watch my channel, you've seen me talk about this fragrance a lot in the past. Haven't talked about it in a little while, but this is a fragrance that it's in competition because it's from the same house, Masque Milano. Okay, so we got, again, the Italian house, Masque Milano. And this is, without further ado, Mandala. I always list this as one of my favorite green fragrances. It doesn't get much better than this. It's one of my top 5 all-time green fragrances. It is, whew, I mean, that's a reaction that is completely visceral. This fragrance gives me a visceral reaction every time I try it. It is, again, this opens up with a note of olibanum. So you'll see, again, some similar elements when it comes to incense fragrances, but it's also got this like kind of spicy nutmeg and angelica note. That angelica note, it's so different because angelica is not a note that I'm typically really inundated with. I don't smell it a lot, but that's what stands out about this fragrance. It has this green angelica note, and then it's just that incense and cardamom. And let's take a look at the bottle again. Obviously, I love these caps too. If you've never really seen these caps, it's just such a cool design. But like the other ones, also has cedar, and this one has got myrrh. So myrrh, of course, another very timeless element in fragrance and perfumery, goes back again to biblical times when these were fragrances like incense and myrrh that are used in religious ceremonies. And so I just think that when you think about fragrance notes that have lasted really through the span of human history, incense is right up there with one of, the most classic notes of all time. And this is one, again, that if you haven't tried Mandala, I cannot recommend this enough. It really is one of my favorite fragrances of all time. It made me fall in love with this house, Masque Milano, which is now one of my top 5 favorite houses, definitely of all time. And if you love incense and you love kind of this green element and you love sexy fragrances that smell totally different from all the other common things out there, you're going to love this one. There you go, my top 3 favorite fragrances. Just to summarize, well, I have Casbah, which I'm just going to show you the picture of. Casbah from Robert Robert Piguet. That's coming in at number 4. I'll talk about that more when the bottle comes and I can give you, more detailed information on it. Mon Nom est Rouge from Majda Bekkali. And, of course, the 2 from Masque Milano, Luci and Ombre, Mandala. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you're having a great day. I'll be back soon with another video. Peace, love, and perfumes.